we honor First Lady Hilary Clinton by dedicating this white oak to her. And I'd like to ask the First Lady to come up as we show her the plaque.
Well, thank you so much. I am absolutely delighted to have this tree dedicated in my honor. I'm a great lover of trees, and one of the most joyous parts of living in Washington, particularly at the White House, are the trees that one finds around the mall here in downtown Washington. And when I look at this beautiful white oak, which I'm told is more than 10 years older than I am, it's really reassuring to see it standing there. You know, there are many trees like this beautiful white oak and so many others around our country that are still telling us something of our history, still making our air cleaner and our communities wealthier in resources and spirit. When I was listening to Dan talk about all of the attributes that trees have, I was just overwhelmed at the real distinction that we have today of celebrating the millennium by paying tribute to the trees of America. And the reason we can do that is because of so many of you here in this audience. When the President and I created the White House Millennium Council, we wanted to encourage all Americans to take this unique moment in time to honor the past and imagine the future. And that is what all of us are doing here today. As I've been privileged to travel around our country, I've seen and met countless people who are working to save America's treasures, from Thomas Edison's laboratory to the ancient civilizations that carved their lives into the rocks at Mesa Verde. But there is no more important treasure for us to preserve and pass on than our planet. Because what good are the high-powered computers that connect us instantly to each other if gridlock keeps us from getting home in time to kiss our children goodnight and tuck them in? What good are the toys that people are flocking to buy for children for this holiday season if we cannot give them the gifts of clean air and water and the freedom to run through beautiful parks, or the blessing of being surrounded by trees that look like they can almost touch the sky? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "If I were to die tomorrow, I would still plant a tree today." Every time we plant a tree, we do it knowing we may never find comfort under its shade. But every time we do plant a tree, we leave embedded in its roots the story of who we are as a people and who we want to be. We can see the story of America in the white oak which overlooks the Anacostia River from Frederick Douglass's home. We can see it in the sycamore at Burnside Bridge, which was a silent witness to a battle during the Civil War. When we walk by Rock Creek Park or the National Arboretum or any other place that honors and treasures nature, we not only see the past, we can imagine the future and what we must do to make it what we wish it to be. What kind of communities will we build? What kind of country and world do we want to live in? Many of us have heard about the very last Liberty tree from the Revolutionary War, which was destroyed recently during the hurricanes. Now, this was not an isolated incident. All over Washington, D.C., and indeed all over the country, we are seeing forests and trees and green open spaces disappear right before our eyes. This is not something we have to learn to live with. This is a trend we can reverse. That's why I'm so pleased this afternoon to join in this kickoff of Millennium Green, a national campaign to make every community become green again. We want to cultivate 1 million Millennium Gardens by the end of the year 2001. We want to plant more than 250 million trees in this country, about 1 tree for every American. And I'm pleased to announce that the administration is launching this campaign by by making good on that promise that Secretary Glickman made and giving Mayor Williams an additional 100 trees to adorn our nation's capital. But this goal will ultimately be fulfilled not by governments, but by our citizens. When we said we wanted to create a Millennium program focused on the environment, it was Gail Levy of Plants Express who helped come up with the idea of Millennium Green. Gail is an energetic, committed American citizen, and she was following in a long tradition of citizen service. We think of the victory gardens that people were challenged to create during World War II so they would have fruits and vegetables to eat at home. We think of the story of Johnny Appleseed, one that we were all taught growing up. It is said that he roamed over 100,000 square miles, lovingly planting his apple seeds. And we can see the results right here on this stage. These 6 trees are all descendants of the very last tree they say Johnny Appleseed planted. Now it is our turn. We are calling on every citizen, young and old, to give a gift to the future by planting a tree or cultivating a garden. We want to create a national movement to preserve our historic trees and groves and to plant seeds of hope for the future. It is already starting to happen. The Los Angeles Unified School District is removing 20 million square feet of asphalt, nearly a third of all the asphalt on school grounds, and replacing the asphalt with trees designed to shade, cool, and protect the children. Eddie Bauer has committed $5 million to help American forests reach their goal of planting 20 million trees by 2001. And with help from America the Beautiful, a master gardener named Jack McCoy has planted over 400,000 flowering bulbs in memories of the families and children who lost their lives in the Oklahoma City bombing. He wanted the city to be in full bloom with life on the anniversary of that terrible event. And 2 young people, Tara Church and Melissa Poe, have launched a 1 in a Million campaign. They were inspired by attending the President's Youth Summit in Philadelphia, and they made a commitment to enlist 1 million kids to contribute 1 million hours to plant 1 million trees by the end of the year 2000. With a year to go, they've already planted 800,000 trees. In a few minutes, the choir from Bernie School will sing Heaven on Earth, the theme song for Millennium Green. And over again, we will hear the children's voices say these powerful words, "It's in our hands." Imagine the rebirth that would surround us if every single person believed that planting a tree and building a garden was in their hands. Imagine if children and seniors and all of us in between took it into our hands to build gardens in every school in America, always putting aside 1 row for those who are hungry. Imagine if all businesses took it in their hands to plant a tree for every employee. And imagine if we taught every child in America that the fate of our planet in the next century lies in only one place, their own 2 hands. Thank you all so very much. Thank you, Dan.
Good job.